I did it my way. I love coming into the music room because I sing, I play piano, I listen to music, I love music. And my question is always, if you have music in you, should you be singing? If you have the music in you, should you be playing? If you've got the dance steps in you, should you be dancing? If you've got the art in you, the passion to do anything inside you, should you be doing it? And my next question is then, how are you going to do it if you have a passion? And there's a hard way and an easy way. There's a simple way and a complicated way. There's the let's try and find what I can do, how little I can do to achieve my goal, versus how much can I do so that I can be the very best at what I do and keep getting better at it. So you can have a skill or a talent to be good at music, to sing, to draw, to act, to have a business brain, all the things that people are good at. We're all born with a genius. Isn't that exciting? We've all got something inside us that is a talent or a gift or a genius. But what we do with that is another question that perplexes me on a day-to-day basis, because I meet people that can sing, but they don't sing. I meet people who can paint, but they have a lousy, stinking, rotten job. I meet people who are really artistic, but they're in a job where they're an accountant or they're teaching maths and they hate their job, but it's paying their lousy, stinking, rotten bills. So why do people have a passion, something that they dream about doing and not do it? And the people that do it, how did they get to do it? And there's an interesting thing called self-belief. So for example, if you can sing, you must know that you can sing. But you might be scared of what other people think of you, or you might be scared that people won't like the way you sing, so you just keep it to yourself. Versus there are some people who are technically not that good at singing, but they sing anyway because they're passionate about it. And what happens when you're passionate about something, you want to keep getting better at it. And the experts will tell us, and this is something that's really not argued, there's lots of different experts and behavioural scientists and psychologists and psychiatrists who talk about human behaviour. But this is something that they tend not to argue about. Anybody can get good at something in about 10,000 hours. So and I always use the example, I don't play basketball, but if I started today and I invested 10,000 hours of shooting hoops, is it possible that I would get good at basketball? Now, the experts say yes. If I don't like it, I'm actually not sure, because I'm not sure that you'd enjoy the process, so you might not get your 10,000 hours in, so you might drop off. But again, it's not argued that if you put in your 10,000 hours, you'll get good at it. So if you are already good at something, you know that you are, or you're passionate about something and you want to get good at it, then it seems a no-brainer that you can actually do it. So why don't you do it? Is it because you care what other people think? Is it because you're living in an environment where people expect you to do something different? And that's a really personal and sad question. If you've got the music in you and you get to the end of your life and you've never sung, and you have to look back over your life saying, I wanted to, I should have, I could have, I would have, but I didn't. I wanted to sing, but I ended up being an accountant. I wanted to act, but I ended up being a school teacher. Now, if you want to be a school teacher and you're passionate about it and you get to the end of your life and you say, I invested my entire life teaching future adults to have a great life, wouldn't that be awesome? Like, what a great way to live your life. But isn't that the only way to live? That you can look back over your life and say, without regret, I did all the things that I'm passionate about. And even if I wasn't good at it, I took the time, I put in the effort, I put in my 10,000 hours, and I got good at it. So what is it that you want to do? Why do you want to do it? Is it to impress other people, which may not be a good idea, versus express who you are? So if your expression, your passion comes out in drawing, writing, singing, painting, business, sport, and I use sport as a classic example because I just love it. Every elite athlete, every sport, and I don't care what it is, I love the thought of somebody getting paid. A professional athlete simply means they're getting paid to play their sport. I just love that whole concept. I just get really excited about it. But how many people have you met? I've met hundreds, if not thousands of people who were really good at a sport and they wanted it to be their career. They wanted it, they were passionate about it, but their family or their friends or life or social influence, something took hold of their dream, squashed it, and they ended up in some lousy, stinking, rotten job. And they say, they watch the Olympic Games, or they watch a game of rugby, or they watch a tennis match, and they say, oh, when I was in school, I could have been that. I could have done that. I should have done that. I would have if I didn't have life take over. Well, interesting question. Aren't we in control of our own life? If you're allowing your family, your friends, social influence, social experience, life experience to control your life, without wanting to sound like a control freak, I don't want anybody else to be in control of my life. I don't want anybody, just simple things. I don't follow fashion because I want to wear what suits me. I listen to music. I don't care what the current top 20, top 10, top song is. I listen to the music that I like. I read the books that I want to read. I watch things on television, or I watch movies that I love, and that's why I don't listen to the radio and why I don't have normal television on my screen, because I want to be in control of what goes into my brain. And circle of influence, the people that you have closest to you, the behavioural scientists will share that they have the most influence. So the 5 people closest to you, if they believe in you, if they say that you can do it, if they want you to achieve your goals, and if they're encouraging you, then you're much more likely to achieve your goals. If you've got 5 people in your life telling you that you can't do it, that you shouldn't do it, it's not possible for you, you're not good enough, is it possible that you believe those people? And again, the behavioural scientists will say yes. If you listen to that circle of influence, you are more likely to be like them. So me, I'd rather be by myself than have 5 people in my life telling me that I can't do it. But here's another really interesting thing to consider. When do you actually know that you can do it? Obviously not until you've actually done it. You can believe in yourself, self-belief, self-motivation, self-inspiration. I can do it. I can climb my mountain. You'll see me waving from the top or dead on the side, but I'm not coming back. I'll do it or die. I say that all the time. But you don't know that you can climb that mountain until you're actually at the top, yeah? So here's an idea. If you've got people in your life who tell you that you can't do it, it's not possible for you, it won't work for you, don't tell them. Just go and do it. You'll know that you can do it when you've done it. And if you are wanting to do it and you put in your 10,000 hours and you've got a skill or a talent, and it's obviously easier. If you've got a skill or a talent or a gift, a genius, and then you invest 10,000 hours into that gift, you obviously become very good at it. That's where world champions come from. And multiple world champions. That's where the people who are the best at what they do, that's where they come from. They've got a skill or a talent or a genius, and then they put in their 10,000 hours and they become ultimately the best at it. But it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you put in the time and effort, you can get good at it. But it doesn't fall out of the sky in a pretty pink box. You obviously have to do it. And once you've done it, you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to tell anybody this is what I've done. You know that you can do it because you've done it. Now, people might observe that you've done it and be impressed that you've done it, and that's when you might become impressive to other people. But isn't that just simply because you have expressed who you are? You haven't tried to impress anybody. You haven't done anything for somebody else. You haven't let anybody else stop you. You've just done your thing, been your person, lived your passion, and then people can observe that you've done that. I'm going to ask the question again. If you've got children in your life, if you've got future adults looking into your life, wouldn't it be important for them to see that it is possible to live your passion? And how would they know that? I don't want future adults to look at rappers or YouTubers or elite athletes or movie stars and say, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And that's obviously, those people can be very inspirational. But if you're a parent or a teacher, wouldn't it be awesome for your students, for your children, for your future adults to say, I did this because my teacher, my mum, my dad, my grandma, my auntie, they did it and they proved that it could be done. So they inspired me to have a go and do it myself. And that's why I'm asking with such passion and a personal begging position. I want our kids to grow up in a world where the word can't doesn't exist. I want our future adults, if they've got music in them, if they've got art in them, if they've got kicking ability, if they've got swimming ability, if they've got any kind of genius or talent, I don't want it to get squashed. If our future adults have got the music in them, I want them to sing and play. If our future adults have got business acumen and entrepreneurship in them, I want them to have their own business. If our future adults have got great hand-eye coordination and they love a sport, I would love them to be professional athletes, not end up in some lousy, stinking, rotten job to pay their bills because there was nobody in their life to live the example for them. So do you have the music in you, and are you singing? Are you playing? Do you have dancing in you, and are you dancing? And whatever your passion is inside you, if you have it inside you, wouldn't it be awful to get to the end of your life, look back over your life and say, I could have, I should have, I would have, but I didn't? How about I did? I did it. I lived my life to the fullest. I lived my life to the max. Super duper doo, how are you living your life?